Hey guys, thanks for coming to the podcast.
Right on. Thank you for having us.
You know, you might be the first people that come into my office and see the windows and think of plants. Like, no one's ever mentioned that before. Like, this would be a great place for plants. Like, everyone's like, oh, what a view. Oh, nice. You guys are all three of you.
I just started examining how many plants I can have there, how many shelves, the big monstera just hanging in there.
So it's so funny. Like, it's always interesting how many people we have come in here that you guys are the first ones ever mentioned plants. I will say that.
And you're lacking plants. We need to hook you up.
We have none.
Because you do.
I will kill them.
That's the first thing we see is the windows, and then we're like, oh, where's the plants?
Yeah,
perfect lighting, no plants.
Unless Adrian wants to start watering plants every day, like
not every day at all. Actually, that's the one biggest misconception of people having plants is that they think that because you have a plant, you're supposed to water it every day. But there's a lot of plants you don't have to water for like weeks.
So I can just get a cactus, right?
That too. Cactus is only a month. I mean, I'm sure you can remember.
Probably even longer. Probably like every 2 months or something.
Adrian, can you handle once a month watering a cactus?
Yeah, the whole thing. If you get a bigger plant, it means you don't have to water it so much because it's storing water in that so long. So it takes a while before it dries. With your windows, it'd be perfect.
Be perfect for you. So why don't you tell everyone who you guys are?
Okay, so my name is Jesse Aleman. This is my daughter Genevieve, and we started Succs2BYou. And we also have my wife, but she don't want to be on the.
She don't want to be on camera.
Yeah.
She might get it. You know, it's funny. We'll see because maybe by the end she'll be sitting right here. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So we started Succs2BYou. It's a plant shop. I sell succulents, cacti, and then house plants, and then I make custom arrangements.
Oh, okay.
All types of little,
Yesterday we just did my coworker's wedding.
Oh,
nice.
So we did
some centerpieces, and we did her bouquet, and we actually did succulents inside the bouquet, which is like, you never really see that. So that was cool.
So
plants are art.
Well, obviously, before the podcast, you're telling me that your wife got you into plants.
She did
because you were a plant killer.
Well, actually, my wife, we all were kind of plant killers. The whole thing is once you get into plants, you start learning, and you are going to kill a lot of plants. That's the first thing. And it's okay. It's the whole thing like cooks. Like you have to break some eggs to make an omelet and all that. It's the same thing.
You get a little shell in there every once in a while.
Because if you didn't kill them, that means you're not learning, honestly.
Yeah, so my wife was she wanted that whole thing for us is our home to be full of plants. And as a good husband, I had to kind of learn. We started learning and seeing what was happening, and it just changed our lives, really, man. It just took us somewhere else. I didn't know that was gonna happen for us. I didn't know where I was at in life, and then for that to happen to us. So really cool.
So what did you do before this?
So I did concrete for probably over 25 years.
That's awful. I did it for one summer in high school. It is
never again.
When you're out there and it's hot and you're out there and you're sliding back and forth and you're yelling, "Give me more water!" It's hardening on you.
I've seen really hardcore men yell for water. Water. Really, we're burning, we're losing it.
You're losing.
Right away they start 911 SOS. It's bad.
It is a brutal thing, honestly.
I've burned myself so many times in my legs, just from concrete, and it's just awful, man. I did skyscrapers. We were doing skyscrapers and buildings, and where we couldn't get off the building. See, people do concrete, they pour like 2 sidewalks.
Yeah,
we were doing like over 300 trucks a day, man, and like every day. So it was okay, like when we were younger. But then when we started getting older, you start losing it, and the company we were at was just so much coming home really late, waking up early, and I came from where my dad taught me about it and just got us into it at a very early age, where like it made it where my life was just great. For all those years.
He actually went colorblind for a little bit. All I saw was gray and gray.
I think the one that told me about color was my wife, because she's a color specialist and hair and stuff. So I would learn about that. But really, as men, we were just, go to work, eat, come back. And that's the little routine I had. And I think when plants went into our world, it just sparked something in us, man. It changed us. It's a breath of fresh air, like what they bring, man. It just changes it up. And at that time too, we're kind of going into the epidemic. and it just made it where we were able to bond together, me and my daughter. She was able to she was going through her little thing. I don't know if she wants to talk about it, but we were able to, like, once I started learning about plants and kind of making me a little happier, I started noticing and started sharing it with her, and we were both kind of like grew together and learned together, and did great, man. The plants, I'm telling you, they're just awesome. One thing, there's a lot of plants that actually purify the air. That's one thing. And then there's plants that, there's medicine, there's all kinds of things. But one thing was I would come home really mad and angry with just been working, and I would start working on my little succulent arrangements. And once I started doing succulent arrangements, it would be a time for me to be by myself and kind of alone and kind of deal with the little things that happen at work, or instead of just coming and confronting my wife or daughter, I was really mad.
And that's, like, I think is hard part about being men. Is that, like, we're not supposed to express our feelings, and we're, like, supposed to hold it all inside, and we're supposed to be a man, and we can't cry, and we can't be upset. So then it's like, what's your escape?
What's your outlet?
What's your outlet? And then you got to find a healthy outlet, not a negative outlet.
Yeah, it seems like the world just wants to drink.
Yeah, exactly, right?
Yeah, it's terrible.
You know what I mean? And then that's the crazy part. And then it kind of just spirals out of control. And then, you know what I mean? I think if more people are able to open up and be able to find a healthy way to express themselves. So you got in, right? And so how did you, like, were you just feeding off your dad's happiness, and you saw the change in him, and you're like, yo, I could try this out a little bit?
Well, my thing was I was graduating high school in
what high school did you go to?
2020. What's it called? Martin Luther King?
You don't even know what high school you went to.
I know, it's been so long.
It's so long.
Whole 2 years ago.
Shoot, I graduated there in 05. So.
You went there too?
Yeah, I went there at King. I went class of 05, everyone. I was there when the school got built.
I was going to say, that's probably one of the first years it got built.
Yeah, so it was built in 02.
You know, it's a big school then.
It's huge, yeah. I mean, it's way bigger than when I went there. But yeah, I remember, I have a lot of buddies from all over the United States. So when I say I graduated with 850 people, they're like, dude, we didn't have 850 people in our whole high school.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, okay, so you graduated from King.
Wow.
It was during that time, so I was supposed to graduate though, but the whole pandemic happened, so just one day they told us we're not going back to school. Our spring break was being extended by a week, and then I just never went back. So it definitely was like a kind of like a dark time where I was just feeling kind of lonely, and then with my friends, like everybody was going through it at this time.
Yeah.
It was just really odd for me just to never really like see my friends again and like go back to say bye to my teachers and stuff. And so this is when everybody was just kind of inside our homes and everybody didn't really know what to do. And this is when really the only things that were open were like nurseries and plant shops and stuff. And so I would just go with my dad everywhere he wanted to go. I'd go with him, and he started bringing home a bunch of random plants. And so somehow along the way I got into it too. And it was exciting to see all the different kinds and different colors, different personalities that they all had. So it definitely did, like, I see what he says when he says it sparked something in us, because especially that time in my life I felt very sad and alone. And it definitely made us closer just happier overall. So yeah, plants are cool.
Were you guys shocked? Like, obviously you guys have like 20,000 Instagram followers now. Were you shocked that like the following that so many people are into plants?
I know.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Like
it was shocking.
I just started posting too on TikTok. I would sit there hours a day just scrolling through just random stuff, and I was like, you know what, why don't I just start posting, especially because this was a time when he was making a lot of arrangements and he was starting to do his plant sales and stuff. And God told me, why don't you do it? Why don't you put yourself out there? And you never know until you try, you know?
Yeah.
So the first few videos I did, and it just kind of just kept growing and growing from there. And now it's been like a year and a half now. And it's doing good. So it's crazy. I think TikTok especially is a really cool platform because it allows you to connect with people over your interests. So it's no longer like, oh, here's this person that's famous, look at their stuff. It's more like, oh, you like plants, let me show you plants. Oh, you like art, let me show you
the
art.
algorithm there is intense.
Exactly. Whatever you like, it's gonna direct it to you,
because they want you to stay on the platform more.
Yes. I
think that's the big mistake that that Instagram has made. Definitely, because obviously social is my world. Is like I just want to see my friends. I don't need to see, like, just give me the stuff I'm interested in. You know what I mean? I just hate when I'm like, I miss a post and I'm like, dude, why did that's something I want to see. Like,
and then even the timeline on there now, it's weird because it won't show you the new updated things. It'll show you days from like days ago.
And it's like, dude,
wait, when was this? And it's like 6 days ago.
Or like, you're like, oh, dude, are you here? Like, no, I was there 3 days ago. You're like, oh, man, if I would have known you were in downtown, I would have hit you up and things like that. So, do you do any of the social, or is it all on her?
I try to get in there, but I get
Everyone
yelled
note
at.
self. Someone's laughing off camera right now.
I know.
Someone is laughing off camera. I'm not going to say who, but someone is laughing off camera.
When it comes to videos,
I picked the wrong song.
I can't, dude. Don't get me started with the songs.
I get in there, and then we have to argue about.
Don't start with the song.
I have a vision of it.
A plant video, and then it will have like just like Cypress Hill or something. Like, yeah, that's cool, but like, no. First of all, no one knows that song, and second of all, it just doesn't match the vibe, you know. Like,
he's like, but I like that song, and I made this plant. That's my vibe.
Really what he says. I'm like,
well, what I say now is that I have my followers. So then I cater to those followers.
I got my own people.
And then she caters to the people that are coming new.
See, that's my problem. Is like, people are like, are you on TikTok?
That's how I see it.
People go, you on TikTok? I'm like, we got enough going on here. I can't think of songs.
Yeah.
I actually wish I could hire like some 18-year-old girl to handle my TikTok because I love Adrian. And you're gonna listen to this, obviously. I love Adrian, but literally Adrian doesn't do social media. Yeah. And then we have another girl that edits all our stuff, and she's like 20. And she don't have social media. I'm like, I hired the two.
Social media?
No, zero. I hired the two people that don't do social media as my social media people.
You're like, that might be a problem there.
Listen, Adrian, you guys can both edit videos and shoot videos. You know what I mean?
I enjoy it. I love making my little thing. I feel like a little movie director when I'm behind it. And,
sure.
And like I said, I cater it to my little way. And then she'll flip them. She'll flip them and correct them and stuff.
I have him not so much produce videos as in like completely direct it, more like, all right, you're going here, go ahead, send me a few snippets of this, you know, I need you to send me this, you know, and then I'll work with what he gives me.
You know, now that it's a job, did you feel a transition in social media now that it's something like not just like this is what I'm eating or this is what I'm doing or whatever? Do you feel different now? That do you have like a more like I have to post? I haven't
mastered it because there definitely is a way to more market your brand, which I definitely need to master more. Yeah, but yeah, there is a big transition.
It's a different feeling, isn't it?
Yeah, it definitely does. I don't want to take anything from it, but it makes it a little more difficult too because now you're no longer like. Before, I feel like I was posting more organically where it wasn't like
now
so
you're
much
thinking
thought.
Like
exactly
how does this work, how is this going to come across brand?
And you know what's weird though is that I feel like when I was doing it more organically and having fun with it is when it was doing the best. Is when it was so just like raw and just not thought out is when it was doing the best, which is kind of
I think we have to find something in the middle where because for Mike we did a Halloween things. We did some Halloween videos where we filmed Michael Myers and some funny stuff, and I really enjoyed doing that, like putting and constructing those videos. Where we even have an idea we want to make a movie eventually, a little plant movie, plant horror movie.
I'm about to pitch my idea to you.
I'll talk about other stuff, but eventually,
I'll make a call right now.
Pitch him real quick. It's a good one. So basically, the Mother Earth just gets angry of like humans taking like advantage and just like, you know, polluting our earth and stuff. So then the plants are like, you know what, it's time to like take our earth back. So then the plants just start like killing everybody and like all this stuff. And the only people who are like surviving.
So you two.
Plant.
Are you three? Yeah, are the plant people.
The plant people
on TikTok.
So then like eventually like at the end of the movie, like you just see the whole earth and it's just like all green and pretty and like back to its like
back to the normal thing.
Yeah.
So for you guys, have you you know, like obviously like most people that are like really into plants are normally like not the stereotype, are into vegans and things like that. That's funny. We're gonna have vegan pizza right before, right? Is that like more of your guys' clientele, or do you feel like it's just everyone?
Honestly, what's cool about it is that it's everybody.
It's everyone.
I mean, we've got in like old men, we've got in like young kids, we've got in like teenagers. It's really just like I feel like something that anyone can like and anyone can get into.
With the whole daughter and father, and then me being you know, Chicano man too. Yeah. So we kind of get a lot of everybody. We get the mothers, like uncles, everybody. We've and then we have little kids, little 12-year-olds, little 7-year-olds that are having their family come bring us. We're always just trying to share also that plants should be we should need to teach kids. We need kids to learn about plants. We need, well, pretty much everybody to get involved. I think we'd be better humans with that.
Yeah.
But with that, and the way she's doing the videos, I think we're just getting everybody coming. We touch everybody.
Yeah.
You know, so it's kind of neat.
Yeah. So how do people find you? Is it you just doing? Have you guys just, especially in the beginning, were you guys doing a lot of pop-ups, farmer markets?
We're doing a lot of.
Hey, listen, lady, if you're gonna talk, you gotta get on camera. Just want to let you know that. Don't worry, I got her, guys.
Good job. Put her on the spot. At the beginning, we were doing a lot of pop-ups at our own home, but there was a time where it felt like it was getting a little crowded, so we started doing more like outside of our home. So we do a lot of farmers markets, like you were saying. The Vegan Depot is actually something that happens every other Sunday, and it's at Fairmont Park. And I think
that's where I've seen you guys a lot.
I'll say it's probably the pizza vendor that you're maybe talking to.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, really good pizza, I have to say. Shout out to him. But
I'm kind of hoping. Hey, shout out! I hope he brings one.
Oh
when he comes in.
Hey, let's just say that out loud. He would like a pizza.
Cool.
Yeah.
What kind of toppings you want?
We're coming you're gonna come right at lunchtime, right?
But so we do a lot of like pop-ups and stuff like that. And now he's trying to do more workshops.
Okay.
So we've been doing that for the past 2 months, and so that's a lot of fun. We're actually having one on the November 18th in Moreno Valley at the Paris Pavilion, which is a new like food lab that they just opened up for Movell, which is kind of similar to this one.
Where's it at?
There. It's called Paris Pavilion.
Where's that in Movell?
Alessandro in Paris.
Got it.
Yeah,
got it.
It's kind of hidden, but it's cool. It's super nice.
Yeah,
it's
the
super
man
good food
Richard's
inside.
doing a great job. He has about maybe 6 restaurants in there, different kinds,
Some
and
thrift
sushi.
stores.
And he has a really nice outside area, and he's gonna let me do my class there. With the succulent workshops, I kind of do like 20 to 30 people, and man, you should see, it's just a great night, and they kind of enjoy themselves, and I provide everything together, and we go step by step of what we're doing, and it's kind of like what they're doing with the paint and sips.
Yeah.
But like I said, with plants, it's just a whole different thing, man. It's they're living creatures, and they're so with them. You see them walk away with their little pottery that we created, and it's just awesome.
Do you feel like I feel like nowadays people are trying to search for I think since 2020 I think people are so overloaded with computers, and I think people are searching to find things to get out and do stuff now that's different.
You know what? I think that was my problem first with my little job and routine. I was just in a little routine, and I never tried new things, man.
Yeah.
And my wife and my daughter were always like, try this, try that, and I never did it. I was very stubborn, dude. And when I got into plants, it kind of opened it up where I kind of like learning, where that's where kind of where we're trying to push now is don't be like that. Don't be stubborn, man. Try new things. Like if I wouldn't have tried plants, then I wouldn't have known how I would have been, how happy I was, and I wouldn't have known that my life could have been better, man. And I grew up in a really poor little neighborhood, but
Where are you from?
we're from Casablanca here in Riverside.
Casablanca,
Yeah, born and raised, and I feel like we're just stubborn in our ways, and we just do with our little uncles and everything, and we don't get out of there. You know,
a lot of people stay in Casablanca, like they don't move. Like
no, they're fine, but if they could just open up and just try new things, and we can find new artists, we can find new musicians, you know, and right now I'm working with, it's called Project 57 IE, and they're actually going every Monday to show music classes, teach people how to do pianos and stuff, and I think that's the little thing that trying new things is gonna, you know, throw you into your little destiny of where you need to be and be happier, and your life won't be as hard, man. My life was hard, and I feel now is I know why it was hard, because I wasn't supposed to be in that little you know area.
You kept on pushing against the flow. You're swimming upstream.
And it was my comfort zone, bro. Like that's why I was doing it, because it was my comfort zone, because I was too scared to get out there, to push myself out there.
So you talk about fear, and you talk about that, like obviously you're not doing cementing anymore.
I do it once in a while.
Yeah.
But it's more like I do it for the love and the fun now.
You know I can waste no time, cause I gotta keep it tight. I'm in my bag, got my eyes on the price. You know I can waste no time, cause I gotta keep it tight. I'm in my bag, got my eyes on the price. You know I can waste no time, cause I gotta keep it tight. Give me the bass, give me the beat. I'm in my bag, this round is on me. Give me the bass, give me the beat. I'm in my bag, this round is on me. Give me the bass, give me the beat. I'm in my bag, this round is on me. Give me the bass, give me the beat. I'm in my bag, this round is on me.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like you're going because you have to, like, you know.
So how was that? How was that feeling? Because there's probably so many people that have sat on the fence like you, have this idea, something like that. How do I walk away from comfort zone? How do I get uncomfortable? Like, why don't you walk? What do you feel like it helped you to jump over the edge?
I feel like, well, one thing, the support of your family.
Okay.
The support of my family was the biggest thing. When they felt like one thing was I wasn't gonna quit. Like, I wasn't gonna stop doing concrete. They're the ones that kind of pushed me out of there because I was so mean, man. Yeah. That's really the thing. Like, you just go on your little job, you go and you work and you work, you gain your money, and that's what you're trying to do. You're trying to support your family, but at the same time, you don't know that you're hurting them.
Yeah.
And you're doing, you know. So then at one point, my daughter had to tell me, like, hey, man, like. And you're like blind.
Yeah.
And that's why I say, like, I was great. Everything was great because you're blind, man. Like, you don't know what's happening and until they reach out and actually tell you. Mm-hmm. And so then you start learning. You learn communication. You learn. You start learning everything. It's like a little ball that you started and it just starts rolling. Mm-hmm. And I think that's what happened with Succs2BYou too. Was it just like
you got momentum?
Yeah.
Momentum's huge.
Yeah, and I think the people liked it. They one thing is, a lot of them were followers that followed us from the beginning, and they told us, they come and see us now, and they told us, like, they've been there from the start. So then now it's almost like a year and a half that we started Succs2BYou, and we've done so much.
Are you guys at the point where you're reaching out to all? You're saying like all these collabs. Like, are you guys reaching out, or are you at a point now where people are reaching out to you?
It's a little bit of both. It's a little bit of both. Right now, there is. It was. I started it with reaching out to people.
Yeah.
And then now it seems like
was it you reaching out?
No, he used to have DMs full of just like random celebrities, like Snoop Dogg. No, I think he just sent a Snoop Dogg text like a few days ago. But like Snoop Dogg, Jim Carrey.
Here's the thing.
I hit him all the time.
It takes is one DM back.
It's true.
Shoot your shot, bro. Shoot your shot.
I feel like well, not true is I had hours and hours of in concrete. Yeah. Where now I have hours to do stuff, man. And my idea is like. It's talking. I don't know. I'm like the old school way where I come, greet you, give you, like bring you something. Like if you need help, I'll help you.
Yeah.
Like that's how we got taught, and that's how it is. And I think we're in a world now where it's not like that. Mm-hmm. And the people that are still doing that are more like they're shining now, but really it's kind of common sense, man. People are just mean there.
Well, I think that's like when people go like, why? It's so funny, right? Like I'll tell people will hit me up like about the podcast, right? People in my world in real estate, they're like, how much money you make off? And I'm like, dude, we just do it.
It's not about that.
We just do it so I could have 30 people that have never been on a podcast on my podcast. You know what I mean? That like the first time you put your headphones on and you hear your own voice, you go like, this is cool. The lights, all these things, you're like, oh, this is really cool. Like that moment. It is. You know, I'm reading a book right now. It's about creating the perfect moment. That's what it's called, or creating a moment. And it's like the moment is the most important part. It's not about the money. It's like the moment you give that, like your classes, the moment someone gets done what they just created in their plant that they've never done before, and they go, I created this. And then that moment, they take that plant home, and every time they look at it, they know that moment.
I see it in their eyes. I see it in the sparkle. I've done it to my brother, or a lot of people, but I've seen it in their eyes where they change. Yeah. Like they change and turned into the new person, and it's like a little kid that just wants more, that wants to learn more, just how I was. Yeah. And I think that's just awesome.
Well, man. I think and like painting's hard because you got to have you got to have really good skills to be a really good painting. If your line not straight or whatever, people can all see. But if you're a little bit off, it's the plant's growing that way. That's true. The plant grows that way. Sorry, I can't do nothing about that plant. So are you feeling like, obviously you're what, 19, 20?
I'm 20.
20. Mm-hmm. So you're 20 years old, you're doing all this stuff, right? Do you feel like the people your age are starting to like, oh shoot, I see this, like involving themselves in what you're doing?
You know what? Like It's funny. The biggest supporters I have, like friend wise, were my coworkers. I had just started that job. I work at BJ's in Moreno Valley, little serving job. You know, it's fun. But it's
now I know
funny.
who's hooked me up with bazookas.
I got you. Let me know. I got you.
I'm gonna slide in there, like double down. Listen, when I go to listen, anyone ever watching this podcast, you go to BJ's with me, and dessert comes
with a bazooki.
Well, dessert comes.
They
get
will
your
be
own.
singing happy birthday.
Get your own.
And I'm gonna sing happy birthday.
I don't share. I don't share my pazookies. Like, I'll literally go on a date with my girl, and I'm like, I'll take a pazookie, and then they're like 2 spoons. I'm like 1. And then I go,
whatever you want.
and then whatever you want. And they look at, I'm like, I ain't sharing. I don't want to get your hopes up, and then I shut you down.
No, literally, because we have the small one.
Yeah,
we have the big one, right?
And then we had the really big one.
The really big one. People always ask me, they're like, is the small one enough for us to share? I'm like, no, it's not. You're going to sit there and you wish you had your own, and you wish you got the bigger one on your own.
Exactly.
They're delicious.
No, so note to self, anyone who ever goes with me, I don't share dessert.
I got you.
So you're working at BJ's.
She gets the late texts. Bring home a
I get that often, but I think I've been.
But see, the problem with bazooki is it's not the problem with the bazooki. It's by the time you get it home, you got to eat it fresh right there. The moment the cookie gets cold, it's over.
Believe me,
but imagine opening the refrigerator and there's a bazooki.
That's called Christmas morning. Cool. That's called Christmas morning, people.
It's kind of a problem at this point because like there's bazookis that don't go out to tables and stuff, and so like me and my coworkers in the back real quick, it's a little hard. But yeah, so my coworkers actually were the ones that like this was when I was first starting to get to know them and everything too. And I just remember this one time one of my coworkers come up to me and they're just like, "Hey," I'm like, "What's up?" They're like, "My friend in Pennsylvania, she knows you." And I'm like, "What?" And she's like, "Yeah, my friend in Pennsylvania, she said she brought a plant from you." She's like, and then I asked her, like, "What are you talking about?" And she showed me, and she's just like, "Wow, I work with you. I work with her. What the heck, you know?" So then from her, she just kind of like told a few more people, and then who I was getting close with, like I would tell and stuff. And then like it's funny because my biggest like clients are my friends at work, coworkers wise. My friends from high school and stuff, I don't really see as much and stuff.
Isn't that a weird thing too?
Yeah, it's
right?
just about growing
Everyone
up.
thinks like my girlfriend has a 14-year-old daughter, and I tell her, I'm like, listen, not to hurt your feelings, but in like probably 5 years, you're not gonna talk to any of these people.
And it's just
and as much as people don't realize, it's just you all think, you know, only adults know this. Everyone thinks, I'm going to be ride and die homies with my high school friends forever. My best friend from high school, we still talk every single day. But other than that, that's it. If you can get one, you got one.
My good close one, he works with me.
You got one.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah, and that's all
I'm 100% solid with that. Like what I've learned with people is that sometimes they're going to be in your life to just kind of teach you something.
They're all there for a chapter.
Exactly, a chapter. And that's okay. You accept that time you had with them and you move on. And that's completely fine.
Do you post... So do you post for yourself too outside the company or no?
I mean, our account is basically just like our life and what we do and stuff. But I did just recently start like a TikTok for my like
for yourself
server
for your friends and stuff. Yeah,
so I've been like messing around with my friends and we'll like mess around at work and I'll post stuff like that. And it's kind of funny though because people like seeing that. I guess the restaurant industry too, because like I said, TikTok is more of an algorithm that whatever you like, whatever you do, it's gonna direct you towards that. So with that, it's funny because I'm seeing like other BJ employees throughout the states and stuff like that. So honestly, I think social media is just so important. Whatever you like, find your niche and just start posting about it. And chances are you're gonna find, even if it's not a big audience, you find your community and you build a community online, because a lot of times it's very difficult to make one in our daily life. So if you can have that online, why not?
I agree. I think that's the one cool. I think social media, like it's been my life for 7 years now, but I think it's so positive and so negative at the same time. Like if you go down, like on TikTok, if you go down a road of watching bad things,
it's all it's gonna be.
Then it's all it's gonna be bad things.
It's kind of wrong.
And that's what's messed up is that it's like if you go down a bad path, like during COVID, I had to even this was like YouTube, like I started like getting so into like COVID and all these things and the housing and I literally had to delete my account and start over to give me a fresh new algorithm because I couldn't handle it. We couldn't go anywhere. We couldn't work. So I just kept on watching and watching and watching. And I try to tell people that too about social media. It's like, dude, you can't go Like I always laugh. Like obviously I have corgis in my life, and they're like my Explorer page on Instagram is just corgis.
Oh, how
corgis,
cute.
golf, real estate. Like I was like, all right, here's my life right here. But it's a danger. It's such a positive thing.
Yeah.
And dangerous at the same time. You got to be very careful.
It's true. It's like don't listen to sad music when you're sad.
Exactly.
And that's what they do.
Yeah.
That's exactly what they do. So it's a little hard in that aspect. That's why you gotta stay away from stuff like that. Seriously.
So you're from Casablanca. You have a big family? Or no?
No, I don't think I have a big family, especially not in Casablanca. No, we were probably the only ones. In that family.
So outside of like this little crew, as you know, you said your brother, like, are they super supportive about this change? Like, have they seen the change in you too?
Oh yeah, they're very supportive. My daughter, my sister's a English teacher out of Jefferson Elementary School. Yeah, and she's always trying to involve the other teachers with succulents with me, and
nice.
And I actually did her front house. She has the whole thing's full of succulents, and it's just awesome. Like she comes into her home and sees her succulent. She says she thinks of me and her family and stuff. And then my brother's the same way. I was able to do his whole front yard, and that's one of my first art piece landscapes that I was able to do. I'm still working on it, but for him to actually do that for me, that's a big thing. Like that's your home. Like So I think I did a great job.
Yeah,
I did a great job. In Moreno Valley is really hot, so you have to really deal and know your plants exactly for them to survive. And so
that's the hard part about being out here. Like people don't realize, dude. You can go 2 weeks at 100. You know what I mean? I laughed at all those people during the last few years that moved from the beach out here that never spent a summer out here. It's like, oh boy, be ready. This ain't long. This ain't the beach.
And I think that's why I got into succulents so much too. Succulents, when they get hot and they get burned, they turn red. And it was like us in the summer, we turn red. They're used to being outside, and out in the heat in the desert. And I think it was just something that I got into. Like, I really liked it.
So is your house just full of plants?
Oh man,
like is the garage just full of plants? Like everybody look like.
I'm getting in trouble because I buy stuff and I forget it and get it gets in time with the other stuff. And then right now everybody has their corner of their house. Like my daughter has her little east facing. My wife has her upstairs, and then I have the living room. And the living room's getting we can't even eat at the dinner table because my plants are just taking over.
Just plants. Everywhere there are plants.
But I mean, me, it's a little different because I'm kind of hoarding. I'm hoarding. But for everybody else, it's plants. It kind of reminds you of things. It's one thing. It's the little things, like you were saying. You need to remember all the little things and appreciate the little things. But when you're sad and you're depressed, when there's a plant that you're taking care of and you see it, like a lot of people have trouble getting out of their beds and stuff like that. But when you see your little plant dying, it needs to be watered, you're going to get out of that bed, bro, and you're going to water that plant. And once you start watering one plant, you'll start watering other plants, and then you end up starting your day and getting going. And I think it's just something, good for some people out there that really helps them. And like I said, it helped us. It's taken me to where I need. I have my routine in the morning. I get up and go, and I'm just excited to start every day to garden and fix up my house or to talk to people, reach out to who I need to reach out to. But it changed it where I felt like with my other job, I was already at the peak where I was just fed up, man. I was done.
And it's like that tipping point where there's like really no going back.
It's
like after you've gone on the waterfall, there's like, even if like you make more money or whatever, it's still the same thing.
Yeah, it was bad. It's just sad for men. It's sad, dog. Like
I'll tell you, man.
They're mean,
dude. I'll tell you what. It's such a it's a hard life. I just don't. Obviously, listen, nothing against moms over here. You guys have a really, really hard job. But like as a dad, like as a man, it's like you don't get to show anything. And then sadly, our exert is normally anger.
Yeah.
And the sad part, it's like, you're not even angry against the people you love. You're angry at the situation or whatever you're mad at, and then it comes out the wrong way, and then you're hurt. It's like, and then you were lucky enough to realize it, like, oh, this is what's happening. You know what I mean?
Like I feel like I said I was blind, and all of a sudden I was open, but then like I was saying, it was my little circle started moving or turning. I started meeting different industries.
Yeah.
We got into the hair industry. We started learning about hair care. We started learning about and all those little things, man. It's just something that men need to learn about.
Yeah.
But I feel that it was me that needed to learn first so that I can start telling people, like the little voice to let everyone know. And with gardening, back in the day, it was like a woman's thing or something. So now the people, like you said, the people that are coming to our papas, man, are men.
Yeah.
A lot of them are men. And it's funny because there was one man came and he's like, well, I have, I was thinking it's the wife. He always think it's the wife, but no, the man came and he had a load of plants, a whole collection showing me.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, this is cool. To me, it's cool because it's something that you influenced him and you turned him, and then now he's happy. He had the same problem.
Yeah.
He had a problem with the wife. And it's like we're slowly showing that, and we're turning these people and they're loving it, and now we're seeing the reap of it. Now they're coming back and telling us about it, and it's awesome, man. And if I would have stayed in concrete, I would have never done that. I would have never been involved or tried to help people or nothing, man. And so to me, to be where I'm at now, I'm just very thankful, and I just want to do more. I want to do a lot more. This December 10th, we're going back. It's going to be my second year in Casablanca. Home and Neighborly Service, they give out gifts to all the community and stuff. And then it's my second year, we'll be giving out succulents.
Nice.
Yeah,
nice.
Yeah.
Is it weird for you to get used to people recognizing you?
Man,
he has a hard time. I'm gonna be honest with you. He's a little...
Is it hard?
I run.
Really?
You know what? I'm very shy. I'm very
Me too.
shy. Yeah, dude, I'm very shy.
But then people probably they're like, "There's no way you two are shy." But it's like, no, I really am.
I get scared.
I get nervous.
Yeah. So the people will come and talk to me and all excited. And I'm like, yeah. And then as soon as they turn around, I want to run. I want to leave. Like it's not that for them. It's just I don't know.
It's hard for me because it's like, oh, dude, I've watched your videos, and I'm like, I don't know, thank you.
You say thank you.
Is that enough? You're coming with all this energy, and I'm just like, thank you. I don't know how to.
I get it.
Sometimes you just don't know how to, because especially when you're like, I'm just doing my thing. I don't feel like I'm not. You know what I mean? I'm just making videos, or I'm just making some plans, and all of a sudden this overwhelming you changed my life or whatever. You're like, thank you.
It's weird. It's weird. I like it when they're around me, but I can see it from far.
When they're
I'm walking, and I can see someone recognize me, and then telling
you're
their
wrecking
mom.
little guys too. It's not like you're blending into the crowd.
So I can see them talking that oh, and then they pull out their phones to show their mom who it is. I was telling them that I was doing that, and ran that way. As soon as they lift their phone, I'm gone.
And that's the thing. I don't think people process that. It's like, dude, it's kind of like for you, when you're at work and someone's like, my friend from here knows you, and or probably maybe had some people come tables.
I've had tables at the end of the. I remember it was this group of guys. I knew as soon as I walked away. As I walked away, the guy goes, "She's famous," and he's like, "What are you talking about?" He's like, "Yeah, I've seen her online. Her and her dad, they're famous." So I'm like, "Damn it." As soon as I come back, they're going to bring it up, you know? So I come back, bring the drinks, and the guy's just they're just super talkative and stuff. And then finally at the end, as I'm getting the bill and stuff, he's like, "So why are you working here?" I'm like, "What do you mean?" He goes, "Yeah, you're famous. Why are you working here?" I'm like, "Obviously I'm not famous. I'm working here." And I'm like...
There's funny ones where they'll tell us later on, "Oh, we saw you at your pop-up, but we were too shy to talk to you." You should have came.
That's the other thing, too. It's okay, you know what I mean? That's the other thing too. It's I want people to come. It's just sometimes what people don't realize too is I had someone come here one time and I DM back and forth. They're always hit me up, right? And I had a desk I was giving away for free or something. I don't know. They're like, "Oh, can I come get it?" I'm like, "Yeah, come on by." It's the moment they came, I was busy on the phone handling some problems, whatever, and I was like, "Oh yeah, grab the desk, whatever." And then she left and she was like, "Hey, I just thought that you would be different." And I'm like, more engaging. I'm like, that you caught me at a moment that you know what I mean.
I think like that all the time.
And that's
you know what I mean?
I do. I think like that all the time.
They have an expectation.
They have an expectation
because of what you're on.
Well, they see me smiling all the time, so I want to still feel that vibe for them.
For sure.
So I don't want them to catch me when I'm sad or something.
Yeah.
You know. So I do worry. I worry about that, but
for sure. And
I
think
try to just be myself.
But that's the thing that people they build up this image of who you are based on what they see online, and it's so then the moment they don't get that same energy. Like
like
I have people all the time. Like my girlfriend's also in real estate. We'll go to like an event and they'll be like, oh, you know, like Adam just wasn't really talking. Like was he mad or upset? And I'm like he did 3 podcasts. He's just tired. Like he does it, and I forced him to come to this event. Like he's just tired today. Like, you know what I mean? Or he has this going. It's hard because you
like,
feel this yeah, I don't care. I expected this person.
You know I can waste no time, cause I gotta keep it tight. I'm in my bag, got my eyes on the price. You know I can waste no time, cause I gotta keep it tight. I'm in my bag, got my eyes on the price. You know I can waste no time, cause I gotta keep it tight. Give me the bass, give me the beat. I'm in my bag, this round is on me. Give me the bass, give me the beat. I'm in my bag, this round is on me. Give me the bass, give me the beat. I'm in my bag, this round is on me. Give me the bass, give me the beat. I'm in my bag, this round is on me.
So, even though you're off camera, what do you? You're in the hair.
Yeah.
You're a hairstylist.
Hairdresser.
Hair
colorist.
You're a hair colorist. That's the hardest job.
But she's behind helping us put everything together. She likes to pot all the plants. And
hair coloring is the hardest job.
Yes, I love it though.
Literally, my ex-fiance was a hairstylist, and then she had to try to do a balayage or something, and then the hair color wouldn't pull, and then she'd be like, I ain't coming home for 2 hours. I'm like, what? She's like, we tried to pull this color, it didn't pull. This person, like, we got to redo it.
Yeah.
So,
like scientists.
So it's a whole, and everyone's hair is different. It's not like you do ABC. Like, it's very difficult.
She's like a detective. She needs to find out the back history of it to like.
And then you get someone who burned the hair before you and messed it all up. See, I know this game. I got your game. Don't worry.
And then people want to lie.
Oh, or they'll bring it like this and be like, I want to look like this. And you're like, you can't. You can't. Like that's gonna take 6-7 sessions. I know the game.
They don't.
Oh, and then they don't. Oh yeah, and then they want it for like $50. You're like, no, homie.
I get the talks on the way home.
Oh, dude, I know it, dude. Literally, I know your pain. I know your pain. And then you just sit there and listen. And you're like, yeah, I know, sweetie. I know. I get it.
Well, it used to be more predictable too. Like before, the colors weren't as complicated when we were first together. So I could tell him, okay, I'm gonna be home at this time.
Yeah.
And now it's like, give him a roundabout. And
it's so hard now. It is so difficult. You know what I mean? It's tough. It's a different. It's just this expectation when someone comes in, they're expecting their leave at this certain color.
Yeah.
If it's not that color, they're upset, and it's always like probably for a special event or something, and you know. So hairstylists have pressure on you guys.
Under promise and over deliver.
Always. So for you guys moving forward, like, is it for you to finally quit BJ's and go full time in this? Like, get a shop, or you know, what's the goals for you guys?
That would be ideal, honestly. I mean, I don't know. God has it all in plan. We'll just keep going, doing what we're doing. I don't know if having a shop right now would be the best idea for us.
Probably not.
Honestly, doing the pop-ups, saving money, and just keep going with what we're doing, having fun with it. And eventually, we'll see where things go.
You know, it'd be really cool. I just thought this came up if you guys had like a pop-up van.
I thought about that too.
Like a food truck.
Yeah.
It's true.
And you just pull up and just boom.
And then that way you get to travel too. That's the biggest thing. I want to be able to go different places.
And it's just on the spot go. You know what I mean? Like load up, go. It's not load up, unload.
You don't have to pay rent somewhere. So that's
I think I want that plus the workshop though.
You want a workshop?
I want a warehouse, like you said.
I want a warehouse. I like a warehouse. That's our big goals. I just want to host more events because I think like just like what we do here, we want to be. Luckily, we do a job where we're very successful in, so we can take that money and use it for people like. Most people, small businesses don't have the money to do all this stuff and then have an Adrian and do. It's like I'd rather just create it for you to help you. Even like throwing events, it's like we don't have a location to throw events. It's like, dude, I'm throwing an event. Why don't you pop by in your van, roll through, and then you could have. So that's really our main goal moving forward. It's like we have so many people coming in here that are small businesses that it's like, well, wouldn't it be cool if like. Next month, every month we do an event. We're already paying for the space anywheres. We can just roll up a truck, roll up the gate. It'll have like a bit. Our goal is like have a big kitchen, you know, offices upstairs, studios. So you like, hey, I'm gonna pop in and do a podcast. You know what I mean? Things like that. That's really our main goal. You know, selling houses for me is whatever. It's like laying cement. right? Like I need something outside of laying cement.
Yeah, we all have to find.
And this is my plant.
And you know what? I think it's you need it, but I mean, people want it, but you really do need it. You need it.
You need an outlet.
You really do. You need something to be out artistic, to be out there.
Exactly,
like,
to create. I think you gotta create. Like I think not creating things. Like we did our goal setting last night for the next quarter, and we were talking about like the problem. I think people is like they're unhappy because you don't like when you're laying cement. What's your goal? To lay more cement, like, but
or
like
to finish and go home.
To go home,
yeah.
And then you come back, and then you know you're coming back tomorrow. For you, it's like what? How can we empower people and pack people to stories and
and I think like Moreno Auto Warehouses. I think it's the same thing for a lot of people, man. They just go to work, come home, go to work, and they don't have no.
And then you wake up 20 years later, and you're still doing the same thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And the sad part, it's not like you're making tons of money, so it's not like you can go on an awesome vacation. You're just always.
You just gotta keep working.
You're barely surviving.
Well, with my job, and then my dad too. In concrete, he always felt that it was that job where they were always replacing him. Yeah, ready to replace him. If he left right away,
there's someone else to replace him.
Yeah, and me too. For a lot of years, we didn't go on vacation or nothing. For the first,
because you're scared.
Yeah, and especially the boss that we had, he was just a jerk. It was just like that.
Yeah.
And then as soon as I went to this other company, you just see, man, how nice they were. The time you needed or whatever you needed, like they'd give it to you. And they understood that concrete was a hard job.
Yeah.
But that's how it is in the world, though. There's different people, different views, and you just really have to push yourself and find yourself where you need to be.
Yeah.
And don't settle, man. Don't settle and get yourself to where you need to be appreciated.
It's so crazy. Like I didn't start learning this stuff until probably about 30 when I really needed to. Yeah. And it's like sometimes I'm like, God, if I was 20 and someone taught me all these things, like holy crap.
And I tell my wife the same thing. If I would have learned plant when I was little, I would have been kicking butt. But at the same time, she says that I wouldn't be having that joy of it. I wouldn't have the love that
it would be concrete.
Yeah.
It would be concrete.
Yeah,
it'd be concrete.
Oh, I love concrete.
Yeah. You're like, can I go back to laying concrete now?
Yeah, I think so.
So for you, so we got your thing. You want to have a workshop for you. What's something for the company that you would love to happen?
What would I love to happen for our company? Honestly, our online shop to keep going, because I think that's super cool that different states want to support and stuff.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool that we have that going. So really just that. And I mean, right now for me, like, I'm not like, I don't go to BJ's and like, oh, I hate going to work or anything like that. Because for me, like, right now it is fun. I do get to go and, make talk cool to TikToks. People. Yeah. And I make my little money. It's fun. So like, I'm having a lot of fun right now and doing what we're doing. And I just have to find my routine where I am posting every day. I am having content to produce every day and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's the other thing, people. It's a full-time job. Yeah. Dude. Like, I got to go fly up to San Jose. Next week, someone's having me fly up there to go talk to people about social media. And, like, I always open up every conversation with them. It's really hard to do it every day. Like, it's very difficult. And then you'll post something and it doesn't do well as your last post. Yeah. So then you're like,
then you get kind of discouraged.
You get discouraged.
The biggest piece of advice I really took into heart was just that when you're posting, post for yourself. For yourself. And what you like, your quality, and do what you want, and that's what's gonna attract.
I don't even go back and look. Well, one, I don't do any of my posting, but I don't go back and look at results, because it's like, there's no rhyme or reason to like some videos that I'm like, this is fire,
and nothing.
Crickets. Yeah. Another video that's stupid blows up, and I'm like, 10,000 views on that.
Exactly. So it really doesn't matter. You just have to.
They like seeing you.
That's true. They like faces. Yeah. They like seeing your face. They like group photos. They like things like that. So, well, that's awesome, guys. I think. It's just crazy, man. I tell people this every time on the podcast. It is so awesome that the stories that you get to hear when people are actually in the front. Like I always say, like, cool, like Joe Rogan, all that stuff, cool. Those people are famous. But there are so many more people that could be you than Elon Musk, obviously. So it's like, these are the small stories that more people need to hear. Because how many people that have like, whatever, maybe like woodworking, welding, something that they just don't, they're scared of jumping, and they don't realize that you'll be way happier and better off, and it will work itself out.
Yeah. Yes.
You know?
You gotta get out of your comfort zone.
You want to add something?
I do. He never brought up that he was in the museum.
What museum?
Oh. Well, now I have a plant exhibit in the Riverside Art Museum right now to the end of the year. In June, they let me put up a succulent wall, it's a succulent frame, and I take care of all the plants in the museum right now. But
who would ever have thought?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, to think where this has spiraled from and where it's going to go.
Yeah, I go weekly to go water the plants and talk to people. People right now in Riverside, they're traveling so much.
Yeah.
They're coming down and they follow us already.
Yeah.
And they come and see us and talk to me. And
Riverside's considered to be one of the biggest art towns in
Isn't that
California
crazy?
right now. So it's awesome. These next few
The
years.
Cheech, yeah.
But the whole thing, like you said, though, people do need to jump, make that jump, man.
Make the
It's
jump.
worth it. It's worth it to push yourself. But you have to push yourself.
You have to
have to
work.
know yourself.
You gotta work.
You really have to know yourself and then work. There's people that want to do it and they're just dreaming, and it's like you really have to. Well, I had a friend treat it like concrete. Treat it like concrete, treat it like your old work, and get out there and do it. So I just every day.
You just show up. I think that's the thing. You have to be, if you're going to ever go on your own, you have to be able to show up every single day. Because a lot of people are so used to having a boss. If you have to have a boss to tell you what to do and what to say, like you are never going to make it.
Yeah.
You have to be so self-motivated. Because it's not when things are going great.
Yeah.
It's when things are going rough. That's when you got to show up every single day.
But I think that's one thing too, as we learned, was like when we're shy, when you have anxiety. I started looking stuff up, man. I want to be somewhere eventually. So you got to get all that learning to get you, all the experiences, everything that we're gonna go through. We're just gonna get better.
Yeah.
But that's what's it's gonna get us through where we need to be. But little baby steps is what started it, and it's gonna get us. And everyone else needs to do that jump and just do it. I have a cousin, man. He cooks the best cakes, but he's also a concrete carpenter that'll never do the cake thing, you know.
And especially nowadays, you could do a side hustle.
Money with cakes too.
You can do nowadays. Side hustle has never been easier. Side hustling has never been easier.
It's true.
But the hard part is, does he want to post his cake online and maybe no one buys it or people hate it? And that's a fear.
But you never know till you
never know until you do it. It's like
on that one, it's a whole horse race. Remember when they put the blinders and just run your race? That's the whole thing on that. You can't. There's so many people in plants. Yeah. Like right now in Riverside, there's so many, and you just got to do your own thing.
But you're
just
different.
Be yourself.
Yeah. We've had markets where we'll show up and there'll be like 4 other plant vendors. Yeah. But the thing is that there's no competition there. It's just, I mean, I feel like it's just there's enough customers for everybody. One thing.
Well, the thing too, we're at the Riverside Art Museum. Do concrete.
He's bragging.
We DJ. I also do tamales.
Oh.
I won the Riverside Tamale Festival 2 years in a row.
Oh wow!
When I was doing concrete.
Wow.
During concrete, it rains. It's a winter, so I jumped in that, and I've done tamales my whole life, dog. With my grandma, I live with my grandma next to me. So since I was a 12-year-old, I always making
go over
tamales.
there making with her.
Yeah.
See, I'm white. So we don't have anything like that. Yeah. We don't have tamales. We got nothing.
It's okay.
So then with Succs2BYou, I want to do the workshop, the warehouse, so I can make tamales. I can provide. We've been DJing since we were little kids too, like 12. And then I want to bring the plants. When I DJ, I taught you since you were a little kid too.
Okay. I was like, who is we? You're always saying we. I'm like, it's you.
Well, I try to count everybody because it's a group.
It's a group effort.
It's a group effort.
I just think that's all about just diversifying and just do things that's fun and that you would enjoy.
Yeah.
Someone was talking to me yesterday, like one of my agents were like, aren't you worried about burnout? I'm like, I love what I do. I wouldn't burn out. There's no burnout. And then if I'm tired of working real estate, I do more of this stuff. And when I'm tired of doing this, I do more of that stuff.
You just have to find
you got to just kind of go back and forth.
I think the burnout is because they don't enjoy what they're doing. Yeah, they don't enjoy it. Like where I'm at now, it's like I'm tired, but I'm not tired.
Yeah,
like,
it's a different tired.
It's a different tired.
It's a different tired.
Yeah, and I think it's just more because I want to do more stuff.
And that's the hard part too, is that you want to run so fast and then you realize it's literally baby steps. You know what I mean?
Slow it down.
Just pump the brakes.
Slow it down. You will get there in time.
Well, what's funny too is the planning. We don't really plan too much.
Yeah.
But I always remember seeing companies with their little logo shirts and everything. And yesterday we went to dropped off our first wedding. And we were both wearing shirts, but we didn't plan it or nothing. It just like slowly, it created itself and it's going. But It was awesome to see that.
It's crazy too, because I always tell people all the time, it's like you don't compare your chapter 1 to someone's chapter is 20, and sadly you need chapter 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to get to chapter 20. If you jump to chapter 20, you won't know what's going on in the book anyways. So then you'll just quit anyways. You got to literally take it chapter by chapter. And too, especially for you guys, is like you're documenting the whole thing. It's gonna be so cool to look back, or your kids and your grandkids will be like, dude, look what we created. Look all the way back. Like, now we have a huge warehouse and we have tamales and da-da-da. It's like we started pop-ups, you know what I mean?
And I have my book that I everything I do, I put it in there.
You put in a book.
I got my photo album, but I just every little since we started and everything. That's really neat.
Listen, dude, that stuff's cool. Well, I can't thank you guys enough for coming on. It's so funny. I see you have my boy that's in the Tyler Mall. It is so funny how kind of everyone's like. It's like, oh, I did a good podcast with this person. Okay,
Vixen Beer let me set up my shop inside of there, and he'll let me set up for Christmas too. But
nice,
man,
dude, he's such good people.
Just other businesses working together to support us.
You all right over there?
Yeah, I'm good. I know I got emotional.
You got emotional over here. You might be the first one that's crying on the podcast. It's just, but you know what? It's inspiring. You know what I mean? I hope people realize it's an inspiring story. And if you've done something special in life, it is a disservice if you don't tell the world, because you could possibly change one person's life based on your story. And that's why we do this stuff. So
I love that.
Appreciate you guys so much for coming on, guys. Remember, stop by. Workshops when? In Moreno Valley.
We're November 18th.
November 18th.
Riverside Art Museum till the end of the year.
And what's December 10th?
December 10th is Casablanca Whole Monday Village Service. We're giving out free succulents to the kids.
And then every other Sunday, you guys are at Fairmont Park.
Yes.
And make sure you go follow them on TikTok and Twitter, or TikTok and Instagram. We'll have their links below. If you need any plants in Riverside, make sure you give them a call. Until next time, guys. Peace.